Hi, Christy. Let me know when you can hear me. I know it takes it a second sometimes.
There
How's
we
it
go.
going?
Good, how are you? Let me just put my um
I like your lights at the top of your
uh,
moss wall. They're cute.
my
Are they
daughter.
little flowers?
They're just little purple lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cute. Well,
they're
like with the green, it sort of like looks like little flowers and
I
in
was like
there.
put them in there and make it all pink.
Yeah, it's cute. I like it. All righty. Well, how have you been? How's everything going?
I've been doing okay. How about yourself?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are good. So, big week, Thanksgiving week. Do you have fun plans?
I don't. I actually volunteered to work at the pharmacy this on Thanksgiving
Okay.
because it's double pay
Yeah.
and like family's not doing anything. So I was like, oh,
Sure.
so here we go.
Yeah, no, that's great though.
Yeah,
I
I'll
love
get
that. One of my friends said they're working Thanksgiving and they're not getting paid extra. I was like, wait a
uh,
minute. What?
that stinks.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, no, you deserve extra pay. It's a holiday. So I'm
Yeah,
glad you're getting extra pay. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, otherwise, you're
I
mom, so you'd be at home taking care of everybody else. So, you know.
right. So I figured if I volunteer for giving, maybe they'll like not pay attention to me when Christmas rolls around.
That's fair. Yeah. So sort of preemptively planning ahead and going, okay, how do I get Christmas
Yes.
off?
Yeah. I can eat food. I can eat pizza, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
need the whole big shebang.
Yeah.
My brother have like emergence. Well, he was not doing well, like he was ill, and then it went from you're sick, something needs to happen to holy
Yeah.
crap, if we don't address you're going to be dead by the end of the week. And so he ended up getting an emergency liver transplant, which
Whoa.
was, I mean, it was a long couple of weeks. I haven't done
Yeah,
much this
that's
month.
scary.
It
Oof.
was. It was hard. I mean, some of it was kind of funny because even after the transplant, he had like he was still not in his right headspace. So we have a lot of like things we'll be saying now on that are just like weird things that he said, you know. So he he was like, I was like, they gave you like all of these beans. He was like, oh, I ate it. I was like, you hate beans. You did not eat it. And we had an argument about him eating beans. I was like,
Oh,
dude,
that's
come on.
funny.
So some of it was funny, but
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, we just, it was a couple of weeks that we didn't do. I'm like, and now my stupid computer won't connect, but I'm on my phone, so we're good.
oh.
Yeah. So my
So,
parents were down. He's like an hour and a half away from where we live. So my parents will be with him for Thanksgiving. My other brother's going to his mother-in-law's house, and I was like, you know what? I'll just watch movies. I'm good with that.
yeah, you were like, we'll just have a chill day. I think that's kind of
Yeah.
nice though.
Yeah.
That it's like I feel like we put a lot of pressure on holidays, so.
There.
So, yeah, I have a puppy right now, so we just were like, we're not gonna go anywhere or do anything. So
Oh,
we just told everybody we were just gonna stay home. So it's just gonna be us and the dogs.
yeah. That's
Chilling.
awesome.
But yeah, he's a puppy, so we were like,
How old is he?
he's like 3 months, so
Oh, all
he's
right.
still very much a puppy. So we were like, yeah, we're just gonna stay home. It's like boarding or trying to take a puppy to someone's house, or like we're like, yeah. And I was like, should I buy a turkey or something? And my husband was like, or we could just find out where you can like buy a plate of Thanksgiving food on Thanksgiving and just do that and make it easy.
Yeah.
Like,
I,
we can make frozen pizza, whatever.
hey, we're nice time. We can make turkey a different day. It's fine.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's like it doesn't have to be on the day either. Plus, it's a Thursday. I don't know. Like I'm like, you could make your Thanksgiving be on a Saturday or something if you wanted.
Right, right.
So
Like we'll do like Friendsgiving, and that seems
yeah.
to be good as well. Um, but yeah, I'm like, I'll eat that food whenever. Like, just make it, and I'll come to your house. It doesn't have to be special occasion.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I was thinking about, oh, where did I see Cracker Barrel does Thanksgiving dinners that you can,
Ah.
I don't know if you found somewhere already or if you even,
Oh, I didn't look. He said he was going to, and I was like,
oh,
okay, you do you.
to do it is perfect.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if he's offering, I'm like, go for it, babe.
Nice.
Yeah. So, voiceover wise, where's everything at? And what would you say would be maybe the most productive thing that we could do today?
So I was thinking about maybe starting to delve into like real kind of character stuff to get like really different than what I am normally. I'm okay at doing like regular people characters, but when it comes to like making up a voice for a spaceship or, a car or whatever, I'm like, I struggle there. Um,
Yeah.
I haven't really been working on anything like that. Like I did work a little bit on the one book, but I'm waiting for her to listen to it and tell me whether or not I'm doing what she thinks it should be before I work on it anymore because I don't want to have to redo. I already had to redo parts of it once because I was sick and I sounded like this very deep throated, like sultry lady, which is great. But this girl is supposed to be like 15. So,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I thought maybe starting to do some like real character kind of um stuff would be fun and
Yeah.
lighthearted.
Sure. I love that idea. Yeah. So you're kind of running into the things that you're going, how do I do that? Like, how do I make random sounds like with my mouth? Or like, how do I, create characters that are very different than me? And yeah,
I
yeah.
watched a video of the two women who do the voices of the minions, and I was like, how do you do that? Like how are like thinking, oh, I can make all these funny noises, and you think that that's okay to submit? Because in my mind, I'm like, I can't submit gibberish. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
So
That you're like, that's silly. That you just feel silly and that it's
correct.
knowing like what works, what doesn't, and having the confidence to submit something when you're like pretty clueless as to how it should sound because you might not even have a frame of reference, right? So,
Right.
yeah. So, thinking about that then, so let's take concrete examples. So, things like so, for instance, one fun activity we could try is I could give you maybe like a picture, or we could look up pictures of maybe like cartoons that you don't know what they sound like. Maybe they're from like the 20s or the 30s or the 40s, that you're like,
Okay.
I have no idea what that is. And then we're going to create a voice for it. Or like
Okay.
you were saying, even inanimate objects like a car or something. You can take like, all right, if you were a thimble, what would you sound like,
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Mm,
let's see. So, one thing I think is fun to do is look up like old cartoon pictures. So if you type in like 1920s cartoons, there's like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. There's a dude with a 1920s rubber hose animation. He's like got a big smile and a big nose. You've got like Popeye and a cat with glowing eyes and things. Felix the cat. Um, so if you just type in like that kind of thing, you'll find pictures that you're like, what is that? There's like a winking dude with flipped up hair. Um, and you can just find pictures of characters that you don't really know who or what they are or like what they're supposed to sound like. There's
Okay.
like a devil with sharp teeth and horns that popped up. And so I have no idea what a lot of these sound like, right? That they pop up and I'm like, uh-huh. Um, so like there's one with like Mickey Mouse and there's like a horse. So what would the horse sound like? That kind of
Okay.
thing. So you can ask yourself, what do I think it could sound like? Or there's one of like Mickey talking to a duck goose thing. Like what might that sound like? So
Okay.
so then we're gonna just come up with fun character voices that are varied because we have all these fun pictures to go off of.
Alrighty. Um, 1920s cartoons. Okay. And did you just hit like the images tab?
Yeah, I just hit the images tab. Yeah, and then a bunch of things pop up that it's like, oh, okay. And then like some of them are newer
Eh,
things, but then others are older ones, so you can just kind of
yeah.
see different things that pop up.
My internet's being so slow. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, one of my students earlier today, his was real slow too, so it's okay. It
I'm not sure
happens.
why. It's not like there's not even any clouds in the sky. The leaves are all gone off the trees. I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it just happens that way, and it's like, why isn't it working? Yeah, occasionally I'll just have to say like, okay, we'll just switch. We'll do another day just because it gets funky. But you know.
Uh, it's thinking a lot. Let
Yeah.
me just go. Let me see what I can find.
Yeah, I don't know if it's being slow if I share. Usually it's like faster and easier if you look it up from your side. If I like share from my side, it'll kind of bog down the Zoom sometimes. So that's why I thought it'd be easier for you to look it up. But
No, you're
and we don't have to just do the pictures. Another thought is we can pick like inanimate objects and then just create things like create voices for them. So one fun thing you can do is just take like objects around you. So I can be like, okay, um, if I was a watch, right? What would I sound like, right? Um,
okay.
and and like think of identifying characteristics. So like a watch keeps time. It's very precise. It has that
Right.
steady click, click, click. Um, so I might think of like someone who's very maybe OCD that everything has to be exactly a certain way and like you can never be late and everything has to be exactly the way it's supposed to be. Everything has to work this way. Um,
Right.
maybe like an accountant or something, everything has to fit in the boxes exactly a certain way. You can't be out of the box at all, right? So thinking
Right.
about things that are more defining characteristics of that particular thing and then how that can
Okay.
translate into like a personality or expression or how it connects, right? Um,
Okay.
so when thinking about a watch, right? Like a wristwatch, maybe it's clingy because it's something that you wear like on your wrist and it's always with you all the time. So if you left it
Okay.
behind, it might be upset. Right? So thinking about just like coming up with ideas, creative ideas of how characteristics we know about it could translate into some type of personality. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I'm thinking of a watch, I would think like somewhat like regimented, kind of like
Sure.
maybe we over exaggerate consonants. So we're
Yeah.
very tip top. Um instead of just kind of a regular old. And you could even make it like sort of like I need all the rules to be followed, but I also need you to be with me as I follow the rules. So maybe a little passive aggressive.
Sure.
Um not whiny and not like mean, but just like oh, but you're gonna leave me now.
Yeah.
How has gone our way? You're gonna leave me.
Yeah.
So those would probably be some things that I would think of. Maybe not very imaginative.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
All right. I love it. Good.
yeah.
So then, what gender are we going to give this particular wristwatch? Is it going to be like, I feel like female would be easier, but you can pick whichever you want.
I think I'll go with a female. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then would you say, um, like, do you think they would have a certain maybe culture or like accent, dialect?
I would probably maybe start more with like a mid-Atlantic accent dialect
Okay.
kind of sound, just very,
Right.
very fancy.
Yeah, fancy. I like it. That's a good
Yeah,
descriptive word. Right. That it's like, it's fancy. It's, you know, because
maybe a
it's
tiny,
very intricate, right? Like a
yeah.
watch is very intricately put together. Yeah. I like that. So we're going to go ahead and try that mid-Atlantic, very precise, clear articulation. So just kind of playing with it. And let's see what you can come up with. All right. So I want you to just kind of improv it right now. We're just going to kind of riff on it and improv it and just play a little bit and see what you can come up with.
Okie dokie. If I'm thinking about a watch. So, let's see. Well, darling, yesterday I went to the shops, and at the shops I found the most luxurious, wonderful, and intricately patterned blanket. This blanket you could put on yourself and keep warm for the entirety of the winter.
Okay, good. Yeah. So it's just creating this character. So she sounds kind of
R-
authoritative to me.
okay.
Yeah.
It
Um,
must be there on time.
yes, exactly. Very timely. Um, so if you were going to maybe think of a person that you think would play that well, like a character inspiration, who do you think might be a good person for that?
Um, I don't know the actor's name, but the woman who is Lilith on Frasier,
Yeah. Okay.
she's very
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good. I actually found an interesting little monologue that's supposed to be like a watch.
oh,
So I thought we could maybe try going through that with the character voice as well.
okay. Let's try it
And
out.
you could maybe try using Lilith as a character inspiration.
Okie dokie. All right. Let me look at it real quick there for him. Okay. I tick, therefore I am. A silent sentinel marking moments you'll never get back. I felt the heat of your skin, the pulse of your hurried days, the chill of your neglect. I've seen you glance at me with desperation, with hope, with dread. You use me to chase the future, yet I only show you now. What a curious creature you are, bound by me, yet trying to escape.
Yes, good. Awesome. How'd that feel?
Good,
Good.
good.
All right. So is there anything you would want to add to this character voice?
Um, think so. I don't think so. I feel like in like to me, I'm like, oh, it just sounds like another little thing that we've read before. But also, I feel like once you have an impression of what it is that, like the image, then it kind of changes things.
Yeah.
Because honestly, on like the movie Cars, it's Owen Wilson's voice. It's not like it's him being a car, it's just
Mhm.
his voice behind the image of a car. So,
Right. Yeah, sometimes it's like they really don't change much.
right.
I would say it's usually when you have like the really famous people playing it, like, Scarlett Johansson or
Yeah.
something, that they're just like, it just sound like you, but because they want it to be something that they can tell,
Right.
that the
That is
listener can hear it and be like, oh, I know exactly who that is, right?
right.
So it's more of yeah, I would say it's more of the situation. But I would
Okay.
also say when it's you creating a character that and you're not really well known yet, I
Right.
do think that it's better to go ahead and, have a little bit more creativity because you're trying to get established and trying to get known at this point.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's what I would say about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
So, yeah. Okay, so then let's pick another inanimate object. So what about like a cozy sweater?
Okay.
So if you were a
Um,
cozy sweater, what would you do?
I would probably have a very warm tone of voice, maybe a little bit deeper than normal, maybe a little like ASMR-ish.
Okay.
Um, Not really loud, but kind of um like not whispery, but just a little bit quieter.
Okay.
Uh yeah. Um
Sure. So having it be a little bit softer.
yes, more a little bit like that. If
Mhm.
I could do a fun Swedish accent, I think that Swedish would be a fun little accent to put behind it for
Swedish.
Swedish. Ah, I will I can't do that. I haven't listened to that enough, but the best I can do is like the Swedish Shepherd, like hardy harder.
Right. Yeah. And we have to question too, like, do we want it to be like a silly cartoon or do we want it to be a little more of like a dramatic type of a situation? So thinking about what is the genre that we're into, I think would
Oh,
affect it too. Like, is it supposed to be more of a dramatic character or is it going to be, more of a character that's going to be more comedic and lighthearted and goofy on purpose, right?
so I mean, I think that for me, the easier thing would be to be more dramatic. The stretching my skill level would be comedic.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try both. Let's first try you being more serious,
Okay,
and then we'll try being a little more over the top and like slapstick with it.
got it. Okay. Um, so more like the well, come on, Vandy. I know you've had a hard day, and all you really want to do is sit by the fire and snuggle up with me. Doesn't that sound like fun? We can just sit here with a book and we'll do thing all day and I'll keep my arms around you and it will be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm gonna comfort you. I'm gonna keep you warm. It's gonna be great. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's very persuasive too. Like you're playing with that like kind of alluring, persuasive, tempting kind of vibe too. I like that. That's awesome. And then if you did go more like over the top comedic, it could be something like it's snowing outside, it's freezing, and like playing up the like, like you could exaggerate or like, I don't know, you could play with like you be like other cardigans being itchy, but you're soft cashmere or something, like kind of playing with the extremes a bit more.
Okay. Okay.
And contrasts can be funny as well, and really embrace like the pauses because that can make a stronger impact.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe something more like, kid, come here. You look terribly cold, terribly cold. But listen, I'm warm. I'm cozy. I know your mom told you not to talk to people, but I'm not people. I'm a sweater. I'm not just any sweater. I am the best sweater made from 100% alpaca wool from Peru. Listen, I'm pretty. I've got bright colors and I'm so warm. You know, you want to put me on, right? You want to put me on? I'm going to make you toasty and warm. Come on, kid. Come on. No, don't tell your mom. No, no, stop running away from me. Don't tell your mom.
Yeah, I really like the like panic at the end. That was really fun.
I could also be like a super in a soda. Like, come on, kid. You know, I'm so warm. I'm going to keep you
Yeah.
hot. But yeah, maybe get
Yeah.
some pie.
Hmm. Yeah,
Snickers fun.
right. Yeah, I remember my little brother, we were up in Minnesota one year and he was gonna go snowmobiling and people were like, Stephen, where are your boots? And he was just like, oh, I don't need them. And they were like, you really should go get your boots. Like, or if you don't have any, like you can borrow some, but like you really should have boots. And he was like, no, I'm good. And he like insisted, but he was like a young teenager, thinks he knows he's fine. Then he actually got stuck and had to like hike back. And he just had tennis shoes on. He was so cold. Like he was scared. Like my mom was like, oh, she
Right.
might have frostbite. Like they did the thing in front of the fireplace with like the snow that they do in like Little House on the Prairie to like save his toes and stuff. Like, because my mom and Stephen were like, Stephen was scared. Like his was frozen. He always wore boots after that. I feel like you could be like talking to the kids like that, like you don't want to go out there without a warm cardigan. Like it is cold. Like you got to stay warm. Like
Yeah.
I remember just it's kind of ingrained in me now, no matter what, like I always have a coat or a jacket or something with me. Because like if the car breaks down and you're in the middle of nowhere and it's freezing outside, and my mom always had those like emergency blankets in the car and stuff. So maybe kind of that like, I'm older, I'm wiser, words of warning kind of thing. And yeah, I like that idea, like oh yeah, oh sure, don't you know? Um, you really should be wearing your coat, kids. You don't want to go without your sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like those words of wisdom. So let's try it. Let's see
Oh,
see what we do with it.
all righty. All right. So you went outside and you went in the snow and you didn't have on boots and you didn't have on a jacket and you didn't have on a sweater. What are you doing? Listen, friend. I think that what you really, really need is someone like me. I know. I know. You don't know. I know. I know that you need to be warm. You need to sit down here, put on my cardigan, and let's read a book and let's talk about snow, but not really go into it. Oh, you had me frightened. Moms don't like to be frightened like that. You frightened your mom too. Ugh, you cannot do that to us again.
Yeah, it's like scolding. I like it. Tisk tisk,
Uh,
right?
yeah,
Nice. Yeah. Awesome.
your
So then what could be some others? What about like Christmas decorations or like Christmas lights could be a fun one, like a Christmas tree maybe. So an
uh,
evergreen, festive maybe. Um, putting presents under the tree, the tinsel and the sparkly lights. Maybe you're very like proud because you're beautifully decked out and all like pretty. You're
Okay.
the prettiest tree. They picked you in the woods or something. Like, what do you think?
How's that? Let's see. Oh my gosh, Susan, can you believe that they picked me? They picked me. Oh, I've been waiting for like 5 years for them to come through with that saw and those little lumberjacks. Uh, they looked at me and they thought, oh, I was the most beautiful one there. Oh, and they're so handsome. And they sawed my trunk and they dragged me through the forest. And then they put me in a stand with sugar water. And they didn't just leave me there, they also put on jewels. They put on jewels and little hanging things and the most precious little star on top. Oh, Susan, you wouldn't imagine. I'm so lucky. And the rest of them aren't.
Yeah, good. Right. They were like, ooh, they picked me. Love it. What if we did that you are a very proud Christmas tree? You have your bright light on top and the kids are racing around and you're like, careful, you're going
Uh,
to break my ornaments. What if you accidentally unplugged my lights? Like a little more like scolding them, like you
sure.
are a perfectly decked out Christmas tree these unruly children, or maybe like a dog comes and starts like chewing on a branch, and you're like, shoo, like, get away
Uh,
from me because you are perfect.
all right, Toity. I am the most perfect Christmas tree you have ever seen. And these scoundrels keep running around me. And I just got all of my branches fluffed. And oh no, 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 don't go over there, you stupid cat. You stupid thing. Stop climbing up my trunk. You're going to break all my beautiful ornaments. And then I'll have nothing. Ugh, please, God, please kill the cat.
Kill the cat. I love it. Nice. What if we did that you are a Christmas tree that is basking in the warm glow and you feel like you are creating that like beautiful ambiance to make a perfect Christmas scene and like welcoming everyone into the home and it's like it's going to be a beautiful Christmas. We're all going to be together, like more heartwarming.
Okay. Um, oh, I can't believe that Christmas is here. It is going to be the best, and they are so lucky that I am here to help them. We're gonna have hot chocolate, and I can't wait to watch little Timmy open up his presents. Mom and I worked so hard on those for the past week. We were up all night wrapping presents night after night. And it's going to be magic, and it's all because I'm here to help. And oh, hi, Grandpa. Hi, how are you doing? Come on in. Oh, yeah, take a look. Oh, no, wait, I'm over here. Hey, hey, Grandpa. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, hi. Hi, Grandpa. Oh, and Grandma's here too. Oh, they're so cute, and I love them, and I'm so happy they're here to spend this special day with us.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. So you can feel how it can be the same object even, but you can play with different concepts or ideas, right?
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, like I would normally think of a Christmas tree being like jolly and happy, but they can be
right.
prideful. They can be, grumpy and scolding, they can be all kinds of things. What if you were a glass of water?
Mm.
What do you think a glass of water? I think like refreshing, um, hydrating, somebody who's really parched and like desperate for water? Is it like a hot summer day and you've been like mowing the lawn? So what do you think about that glass of water?
Um, yeah, maybe like peppy, uh,
Peppy?
or maybe a little energetic, just because like
Yeah.
here I help you, I'm going to save you, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Mm,
Okay, so let's do that. You are the life-saving water
got it.
first. Okay?
All right. Um, okay. All right. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah, here come the runners. They're coming. They're coming. He's gonna grab me. It's my turn this time. I cannot wait to make sure that this man is hydrated and he's going to have enough moisture in his mouth to breathe out of his mouth while he's huffing and puffing, and his throat's not gonna stick, and it's gonna be the best thing ever. Okay, okay, here I come. Here I come. Yes, I've done it. I'm gonna save his day.
Nice, good. All right, now let's try like you are the water in the big container on the side of a football field, and all the
Uh,
like stinky dudes are coming around trying to get some water because they're all tuckered and sweaty, and
okay,
maybe you think they're hot, maybe you think they're disgusting, you can decide how you as the water feel about it.
okay. Let's see. How did I get this gig? My friend Sandra over here, she got like the ice skating rink with all of the cute little kids. Here I am in my gorgeous orange, and all of these sloppy men who smell terrible. Oh, wait, that looks kind of cute. Oh, okay, never all terrible, but they smell so bad. And they just waste me. They put me in their cup and then they just take it and dump it over their head. What good is that? I'm here to save your life and hydrate you, not to cool you off. Ugh,
Nice, good. What if we did that what if you're like a bubbling stream? So still like a water theme, but you're like like a wellspring in the woods with like a river flowing out of it and like a stream trickling, down through the mountain and the woods and feeding all the plants, and you have little fish in you and stuff.
all right. Let's see. Let's see. I've been bubbling over for so long now, but I am here and I've worked so hard. And the little fishy come and visit me, and my branches have reached all the way down to the ocean almost. I start here and then I travel and I travel and I travel, and eventually I hit the salt water and I make a glorious exit. But right at my little bubbling spot is the place I love to be the most, with my deer and my little squirrel friends. And we'll just sit in the afternoon sunlight and bask and enjoy our beautiful day.
Nice. Good. Yeah. I like how you played with like she's, older and wiser and ancient, like a
Yeah,
grandmother figure. I like it. Um, what if we tried that you're the ocean? You know,
okay. Um,
the ocean tides, ocean waves, tsunamis, whatever you want to play with.
let's see. Um, the ocean is going to be a teenager for right now.
Okay,
Uh,
great.
like she's going to be very, dual.
Riptides, currents.
Right. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. Ugh, fine, sure. I'll take my tide back. Whatever. These people, they're like, give me your tide, take your tide. And I'm like, can you just leave me alone? Just let me do what I want to do, okay? I want to be mad. And then the wind comes and it blows and everything gets displaced. And then I have to put it back again. Oh, I hate it. The weather is the worst. And that stupid moon is always pulling at me and pushing at me. And then they blame me for everything. Like, oh, the tide's in. So da 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 da. Oh, the tide's gone out. Oh, let's pick at our shells. Sure, perfect. That's just what I need. Steal my stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So more like catty, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like,
moody and
oh, or I mean, also, yeah,
yeah, like
you could be
hormonal.
very like,
A little more
yeah,
like sassy. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Salty,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, back
Yeah.
end, I was like, I'm so busy working at the pharmacy because, like, so many people are so nice, but there's just so many people that try your patience. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I won't be rude, but I will match your
Yeah.
energy. So,
Sure,
I,
right. You're like, if you're gonna be rude to me, then I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like super cheerful to
yeah,
you.
I said, so I'm just gonna be really salty. She's like, oh, you're gonna be a pirate. I was like, yes, this is our pirate era. We're old enough. We're perimenopausal. We can do this. It's our time to shine.
I love it. You're like, I deserve this.
I,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Someone recently said salty much to me, and I was like, yeah, on this topic, yes, I am. I was like, at this point, yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm just too old and wise at this point. So yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I like it. So, what would you say so far have been like those key takeaways from each of these? And I would, I think, like to create some voices for, because a lot of the time for characters, they'll show you a picture of the character. So then you
Right.
have a picture. So far, taking these like inanimate objects, what would you say are some of the like key takeaways?
Um, so definitely thinking more about their like what is their purpose, what is it
Mhm.
that they people about them, their key aspects is probably something I wouldn't normally have done. I just would have looked at something and been like, oh, look, it's brown. I'm gonna be brown now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
and
being
colors give a really strong impression.
right. So thinking about more than just the initial it's a watch, like what would it feel like, and then also realizing that yeah the tree, it can be majestic but it could also be like cranky, or it could be just silly or whatever, like those things. Thinking more than, I guess, just thinking more than just one thing, giving yourself the ability to create more than one character on the same type of thing, item,
Right. Yeah,
or not.
having the freedom to explore different
Yeah,
things, right? To be like, it could
he
be
said it
this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. Um, and
right.
and if it's a really short script, sometimes I will actually give them like three different options and be like, hey, I came up with a few different options. Let me know if there's one you like better than others. Like, I'm happy to redo it if you have some comments or direction. Um,
Yeah,
if it's longer, no, but
right.
if they give me very clear direction, that's one thing too, but sometimes they don't. They leave it open. And so you're like, okay.
Right. So that's not
Um, but I
all.
had one recently that I did. It was like one or two lines, and I was like, oh, I could do like a few different options, and it was a character voice. So, and they liked the second one the best. So I was like, oh, good thing I gave you multiple options, because if I
I
just sent the first one, might not have gotten the job.
yes. See. Ugh.
Yeah. So, okay. So I would love for us to take the images now. We're gonna see if
Sure.
we can get some of those. Um, can you check if it like ever did load?
It
Another
did.
thought is we could take like children's books or something. If you have any like magazines or children's
uh,
books or anything, we could like take a picture of like a model that you don't know who they are and like make up a voice for them or this like public figure. Or we could take like, a character in like a children's book with, painted pictures in there or something could be kind of a fun idea too, where you
Sure.
have an image that you can sort of craft a voice for. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. Hang on
Okay,
just one
cool.
second.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No problem at all.
Whatever. Let me plug my phone, and my phone's about to die because
Oh no.
I thought I'd be a computer, not my dumb phone. All right, so I think I found put him right there. It's not the best picture. Oh, I don't see the top of my head. There we go. How's that? That's better. All right. So I found this picture of this funny little dog that my mom gave me.
Oh, that's cute.
Uh,
I love it. That would be a
and
really fun one.
I know with my
I like
friends,
the big eyes
I
with
know.
the grin.
We said, what if everybody smiled? I mean, we're just teenagers and driving around with my mom, and my friend was like, what if everybody smiled like this and did this smile? So that's our what if everybody smiled like this? That's our comedic relief sometimes.
I love it. That's so fun.
Okay. So I feel like this guy's gonna be super peppy, super excited about everything that happens.
Definitely.
Yeah. So speaking of dogs.
Yeah, I
Um,
would think maybe like that hyperactive, like little kids who are like, and this happened, and I gotta tell you about this too, and then
yeah,
we did this, and then we went here, and then blah blah blah, and I saw this, and this happened, and you're just like,
yeah,
let's breathe.
yeah,
I feel like it could be kind of like that, like
yeah.
kind of a feel.
Okay, so this fella's gonna be kind of like, um, I went to the park. And at the park, we found the trees, and the trees were magnificent. And then I peed on one, and it was great. And I had so much fun, and I made so many friends. And there was like a little dog and a big dog, and then there were like three black dogs, and I chased a squirrel. The squirrel, he like ran in front of me, and he was like, "Come on, chase me!" But I don't think he really said, "Come on, chase me," but I did anyway. And then he went up a tree, and up the tree was like chitter chattering. He's like, and then he started throwing things at me, and I think they were acorns.
I love it. Yes, it's very just hyperactive, fast,
Yeah,
fascinated by everything, that like wide-eyed with wonder kind of feeling, and just excited about everything. Yes, exactly. And those like catch breaths.
right.
Yeah, we're like, you can't catch your breath because it's just like you're rambling so fast.
There's so
Um,
many things I need to say to you.
yeah, and it has that very like childlike quality with that like very excited little kid kind of feel. And high energy. Love it. Yeah, that was awesome. Very good. Is there anything that you would change about that, or that you feel like would add to it? Um, I feel like
I
you're already doing a little bit of like a younger voice, but
yeah.
I could lean into that even more if you wanted to make them like an even younger, like little toddler kind of thing, kind of
Uh,
voice,
uh,
or like a little, maybe like a squeakier kind of voice, or like you could just play with other options if you want.
okay. Yeah. Let me think.
Or you could play with the fact that it's a dog, more like, "Arr, I went
Okay.
to the park today." Like thinking how he would sound if he was like, "Woof, woof," like a doggy kind of woofy voice. I don't know.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, there's just like some ideas of what you could do there.
a little like lispy kind of thing. Like, oh my gosh, I went to the park today and the park was so crazy. And 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 I saw a squirrel and the squirrel was like, come on, buddy, come chase me. But I don't think it really said, come on, buddy, come chase me. But I like to chase that squirrel, so I chased that squirrel up the tree. And up that tree, he said, choo 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 choo. And then I don't even, I was sitting there and I was like, bark, 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 woo, woo, woo. The thing was just like, oh, but I get quiet because that's not my job.
Nice. Yes, very good. All right. So you can feel how like you can adjust it even just slightly. Um,
Right.
yeah, and I mean a different kind of dog might have like a
Yeah.
hey, like
Mm,
different kind of voices, but it depends on what type of dog it is. Is it
right.
a Chihuahua? Is it a Labradoodle? Is it, a little Yorkie? Like what kind of dog is it? That's
Oh,
gonna definitely affect the way that they sound. Are they a hound dog? You know?
right.
So that's gonna
Right.
change the type of sounds you're gonna get. Are they a Schnauzer? You know?
Yeah.
Like the
So
ones that
we
look like the detective hat dog, right?
have,
Or like Scotties. Um, so yeah, kind of thinking about the different types of dogs could give you different voices too. So I think that could be kind of a fun exercise that you could play with over the next week or so. You could be like, okay, if I was like all these different breeds of dogs, what kind of voice could I make if I was different breeds? Or
okay.
even just
Yeah.
generally different types of animals, like a cat and a dog and a cow and a bird and a chicken and what would a donkey sound like? What would an elephant sound like? And creating character voices for the different types of characters
Yeah.
that were animal types.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that'd
I
be
try
could be kind
that
of fun.
I for my dogs, but I'm never like really good at it. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fun though. I like that idea of like playing with your dogs, because they're yours, you know their personalities so well. So I feel like
Right.
that could be really great because you know them better than anyone. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that could be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So good. All right. Do you have another character that we could like take a look at the picture and try to craft a voice? Because I really liked the dog voices you came up with. I think I preferred the first one a little bit better, just myself,
Okay.
but I liked them both.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's take another one.
Okay. I found a Dr. Seuss book and I feel like that's probably just simple and easy. I have no idea what this is supposed to be, but it looks kind of sad and mopey. And like, no matter what you do, it's always gonna find fault with things. Uh, so maybe kind of a glass half empty kind of a kid. Um, so maybe I would make his voice really far down like this and give him kind of marbly mouth sound.
Oh, nothing ever goes my way. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store and I walked in, and there was a banana peel on the floor. And as soon as I walked past it, of course, I had to turn around to see it, and then I slipped and I fell. Oh, the grocery store. There's people there. There's people, and people have germs, and I hate people and I hate germs. And I just need to be in my space with my things.
Nice. Okay. Good. So, how'd that
Just,
feel?
that felt very different, but not like in a bad way, just in a like, oh,
That
that's
was
really
super
different than any.
contrasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what inspired that voice in particular? What were the things that stood out to you and made you think of creating that particular voice? Like, how did you come up with those
The
characteristics?
look on the character's face is just kind of sad, and
Yeah.
like all around them everything's dead, and their plants are dead, everything's broken. Obviously, I don't know where I came up with like the marbly mouth, but it just seemed like it fit with that particular
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like that
Yeah,
description, marbly mouthed.
marbly mouth.
That's awesome. Yeah, are there any other characters you can think of from anything else that have a similar sound?
I'm trying to think. I'm sure there is. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere.
Right, that like you've heard it at some point. Because I
Yeah,
just wondered like what kind of inspired that
that sound.
sound or like how you came up with it, but that's awesome.
It's maybe like what my brothers and I might like joke around if we're talking about like a hoity-toity British man, like
Sure.
heavy set, really rich, kind of like he's gonna be have all these like jowl sounds, like
Yeah.
so
Sure. Yeah. So thinking of like the
yeah,
jowls.
yeah,
Yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah. Good. Excellent. Is there anything else? Like, I feel like you could make it even more like marbly mouthed. You could lean into that even more. And I
okay,
think that could be kind of a cool thing. Yeah, I definitely can think of like that definitely makes sense to me, like characters on like BBC or, like British
yeah,
characters. I could definitely see that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. So playing a little bit more with a feeling of like I've got marbles in my mouth and
right. Like
flipping
my,
around.
it's almost like you got to keep air in the side of your. I don't
Exactly, like room in there because you have to. Yeah,
really hide. Uh, it's like Eliza Doolittle, except for you don't actually have marbles in your mouth,
exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she like gulps one down on accident. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yeah. So let's go ahead and try that one more time and just lean into that even more.
all right. Okay. Mm, I went to the grocery store the other day, and as I was going through the aisles, I noticed that someone had left the freezer door open. And the freezer door was open, and all the pizzas, which is what I went there for, had come, and they were no longer frozen. The frozen pizzas were now regular pizzas. They just had to be cooked, but I couldn't find an oven, and no one was there to cook them for me.
Yes.
I
Yes.
really,
Awesome. Good. So that gave him a little bit of a different sound, like a little bit more like garbly kind of sound,
yeah, yeah,
like a little more space. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I feel like you could even play with even more of that British accent in there as well.
yeah. Uh,
So, putting more of that British
more.
sound in there. Yeah,
Okay.
let's try one more time. Just play with
All
that.
right,
Just
all right.
tweak it a little bit.
Let's see. Well, let me tell you, friend, I was out for a walk the other day, and on my walk, I had my walking stick, of course. However, these young chaps tried to run past me, and they almost knocked me over. But when I saw them running back towards me, well, you know what I did. Well, I took my walking stick and I just took it out with my hand just a little bit. And I went and I tripped them. And what a jolly good time that was.
Yes, awesome. Good. Yeah. So you see how like you can subtly tweak it or you can actually
Yeah,
change the entire thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Good. I love it. Good. All right, let's try one more.
All right.
So, what's one more picture that we could play with creating a character voice for?
Um, let's see all of these people. This guy looks kind of angry and mean.
Ooh, okay. Oh, he does.
I didn't know what he's supposed to be, but maybe he's really
With
sniveling.
that long nose.
Yeah, he's gonna be very mean.
Really tall, skinny neck too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, fun. All
All right.
right, good. All right, so what do you think of this character? How do you imagine? Like he's very gray too, like,
Yeah,
and his
he's
face
gonna
is
be very nasally. He's gonna be very
yeah,
like, what are you doing on my lawn? Why did you walk near my
grumpy old man. Yeah, like Dennis
yeah,
the Menace's neighbor kind of thing.
yes, very like just no matter what you do, nothing's gonna be right.
Yes, love it.
Okay.
Okay, so then, um, so any other thoughts as to the voice? I think like a little whiny,
Yeah, yeah. That sounds
like very snivelly, whiny kind of feel. I think would
yeah.
be good.
Yeah, okay, so well, Charlie, what have you done today? What did you do? You came by my home and you woke me up. And why? Why did you wake me up? Because you said you had something to say to me. Well, guess what? I don't want to hear what you have to say. I just want to be in my hole and I want to go to sleep. And whatever you have to say to me is not worth the cost of a postage stamp.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you could make him even more like with the wine like a little scoopier.
Okay.
Wow, what are
Uh,
you doing in my yard? Like a little more scoopy.
okay. I
Could
mean,
be kind of fun
yeah, yeah. Okay.
to try. I mean, it doesn't have to be the final result, but
Sure. Let's see. Well, friend, what have you done today? You have come to my house in my yard and you have stepped in my hole. Why did you step in my hole? Why? I need to know right now because you are a snarky little turkey leg who does nothing right.
yes, good. Can we try that idea of like the grumpy neighbor yelling at kids on the lawn? Like maybe there are kids like playing in your backyard and you like holler at them to get off your lawn, get out of here.
Sure, sure. Okay, let's see here. So, wait, what's that noise? That noise, that noise. I keep hearing that noise. All these little kids, they're always playing ball outside my hole and they tromp around and they go and they run and yell and it's too much noise. And hey, kid, I told you to get off my lawn. Get off my lawn. If you don't get off my lawn, not only am I going to tell your parents, but I'm going to slither around and I'm going to dig a hole up under your bed and I'm going to cough and sneeze and yell and bounce a ball off your bed all night long. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, good. Awesome.
That was
Yeah, yeah. All right, so tell me for this character, what would you say, or maybe if you were going to tell someone else how to create this character voice,
yeah.
what would you tell them to do?
Um, to be nasally, to with the get off my lawn. Like personally, I just think a little gravelly, kind of like Oscar the Grouch, but a more nasally sounding Oscar. Um, and just really, really be grouchy. Just really like there's nothing that anybody can say that's gonna be right. So
Mhm.
just he's, I don't care that you're having a fun and you're a child. Screw you. I'm going to be mean back to you, which
Yeah.
is totally uncalled for.
But that's the character, right?
Yeah,
Um, and one thing that I always try to do is never judge the character. Like they have their reasons for being the way that they are. It's
yeah,
just my job to give them a voice and tell their story, right? So allowing them to be human and to have a voice and maybe they have a reason for being the way they are. Maybe his wife just died of cancer and
right.
um, he doesn't like the kids in the yard because it reminds him that maybe, they could never have their own and it makes him sad. So like he might have legitimate reasons for being the way he is, even if we're like, gosh, like you're not very nice. We don't like you. Um, Giving that character, making them human, right? We all have
Yeah,
human moments and
yeah.
allowing them to be human in this moment. Um, so then, what would you say for this like upcoming week or so? What are going to be your goals or the things that you try to focus on with this? Kind of furthering it and continuing to work on your voiceover. How are your projects going? Like just kind of
Yeah,
thinking as you're moving forward.
I think that as far as this is concerned, I might challenge myself to do some auditions that are way out of my comfort zone as far as um like making up character voices. Like, and if even if it's something that I think that I would be good at, like, the warrior princess, well, that's fine. But
Yeah.
they're a little bit different sounding. Give her a different storyline so that she has a, you know, not typical character sound. But yeah, so I think I'll try to do a couple of those. I will really try to come up with some things for my dogs, and maybe I'll make some voiceover videos for my dogs, which would be fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of
it was
fun. Yeah,
kind
like
of fun.
to create voices for your dogs and just kind of, you know, be like, what kind of
Yeah,
character voices can I come up with for them? And um, yeah,
yeah,
I think that's a great idea. How are your projects going? Like each one, just kind of like a check-in on like your Australia
yeah.
voices and all the different things that you're working on.
Going okay. I sent her some stuff. I might actually have to kind of nudge her because I know I'm never going to hear from her like right away. But also, I want to make sure that she realizes that I sent these things. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
listen to it and make sure that you like it because I've recorded, like, I had been recording even after I sent it to her. And I was like, I'm going to stop that for a little while and start working more on, I need to work on your book and finish that up and
Sure.
producing that, which is just the most fun part for me. Um,
Oh,
Dear
yeah.
tiny little project that I'm going to work on with this kid that I worked with. He's in film school. So we're going to do a couple
Cool.
together. And my brother was telling me how he found this like program where if you sit down and have a conversation for like an hour, you record through the and you run it through this program, and it will take like the best 15 short clips and make them into
Fun.
like little like TikTok videos. And it
Nice.
will pan back and forth between the person talking. It'll do like the little dub over. So I was like, well,
Sweet.
yeah. So and maybe I'll think my sister-in-law and I joked about having like a restaurant or a coffee place where you could just kind of be mean to people. Not like nasty, but just like,
Right, like Dick's Last
yeah,
Resort or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
like that. And I was like, we'll call it Boom Roasted. And we'll be like, well, you're a jerk, Boom Roasted. So we started playing around with just for funsies, like little characters that would be on the coffee cups or whatever. So maybe I'll try to make a voice for them.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, just finding creative ways to continue stretching yourself, um, and challenging yourself in new ways and, putting yourself out there, trying things that maybe aren't the most comfortable
Yeah.
because it will help you to grow. you know?
Y- Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. So keep up the great work, Christy. We've been kind of saying like once a month. So a month from today would actually be on Christmas Day. So we probably won't meet then. But
Yeah.
if we did like the Monday, it would be like the 23rd, or if you want to maybe like do the week before or the week after, that would be
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from today would be Monday the 23rd. So I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
meet then or if you'd rather meet a different time, like a different week before or after.
No, I could do the 23rd would be
Yeah.
fine.
Could you
Or
do maybe 12:15 on the
sure,
23rd? Yeah,
sure. It'll work.
great. Sounds good. So we'll do 12:15 on the 23rd of December.
Hey,
Great.
awesome.
Okay, I will see you then.
Sounds
Great
good.
work today, Christy. This was really
It
fun. You're
was.
doing awesome. Keep
Thank
up the great work. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I
you.
hope you make lots of money.
Thank you.
And I'll see you in a month.
Sounds good.
All
Bye.
right, bye, Christy.